So good morning, and thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this week. We are focusing on those lovely lower limbs. So anything really from the hip line down all the way down to the big toe. We're going to be including the hips there because obviously if there are any little imbalances or instabilities in the hip complex, you're going to find them down into the lower limbs and particularly in the ankles. So the hip and ankle have a very strong connection, and generally if we have a little imbalance in one, we're going to find it in the same side on that one and maybe in the opposite knee on the other side. So we kind of have these lovely zigzag compensatory patterns running through our body. So I want you to be really mindful of that this morning and just notice, say, how your right hip feels in relation to your right ankle, in relation to your right knee. So not just looking left to right, looking at one line of the body and seeing how the body is painting a picture for us. So hopefully getting to any little niggle before it becomes anything bigger than a niggle. So starting in a nice easy cross-legged seat, we're going to rest the palms on the knees. We'll melt those shoulder blades together down the spine and just see if we can sit a little bit taller, a little bit longer. Notice if the rib cage is flaring and just gently draw the belly button in. See if we can find those core muscles. Relax the shoulders. Notice if we're holding tension in the upper body. And relax the breath. Softly in and out through the nose. And feel free to sigh it out if it feels better this morning. Just releasing any tension we're holding in the body. We're going to inhale, press the chest over to the right. Bring it to center, all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, tuck the chin away around between the shoulder blades and continue with your own breath. Nice full circles. Again, keeping the eyes closed down, just really engage with the movement here. Pressing the heels of the hands into the legs to draw ourselves a little bit further forward. Maybe press yourselves a little bit further back. Maybe press yourselves a little bit further out to the sides. And just notice as we straighten the arms out to the sides, a nice little stretch into the side waist and into the hips. Relax the head, relax the neck, allow the weight of the head maybe bring us a little bit deeper into the movement. And again, nothing forced here, just gently wakening up into the joints, into the muscles, into the breath. And when we meet back at center and seat, we're going to reverse the crisscross of the legs, resting the palms, and we'll inhale, press the chest to the left, through center, all the way over to the right. And as we exhale, tuck the chin and round. Continue with your own breath, nice full circles. Gently, gently. See if we can make those circles a little bit larger and slow it right down. So we're really listening to every little part of the body as we move in and out of that space. Meet back at center and seat. We're going to open the palms and then inhale both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and stretch. We'll do that twice more. So arms right back in line with the ears. And then exhale, press forward and release. We'll do that once more. Lovely. We're going to straighten both legs out in front to just as the bones get nice and comfortable. Draw the toes toward the face, sit nice and tall into the spine. We're going to hug the right knee in until the foot's in line with the left, and we'll shift the sit bones forward to meet that heel. Crossing the right leg over the left. We're going to extend the left arm forward, wrap it around the right leg, hugging it tight into the body. We might bend the left knee, tuck the heel close to the sit bone, but only if that right sit bone stays on the earth. Then we'll inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the right, we'll place the hand on the ground behind us. Maybe walk the hand around the lower body. See if we can gently touch the outside of that left hip. Placing the hand to the ground, we're drawing that right shoulder back. So as we inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. And as we exhale, gently twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, opening. Continue here with your own breath. Keep drawing those shoulders away from the ears. Keep hugging that right leg into the body. Feel that release. One more. Inhale gently back through center, a little twist to the left, just to release, and then back to center again. Options, if the heel is tucked in, we can walk the right foot out to the left foot out to the right, getting those knees as close to stacked as we can. Otherwise, coming into easy cross-legged with the right leg on top. We're going to draw the toes toward the knees, sitting comfortable into the sit bones, and we might stay here, or we might inhale both arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently folding over that right knee, reaching, resting the hands to the ground. Relax the head, relax the neck, maybe give it a little shake. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, fold a little bit more. So we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, fold. 2 more breaths here, really pressing the ground away, grounding those sit bones back. 1 more. And then gently tuck the chin. We'll slowly walk the hands back to the body. We're going to bring the right foot out in front. We'll bring the left foot out to meet it. Feet are wider than hip width distance apart. Hands come behind us. We're pressing into the ground. We're opening into the heart. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath, gently side to side. Making sure the feet are wide enough apart so the opposite knee has space to fall behind the opposite foot. We're really feeling this into the hips, not forcing it, but not being afraid to draw that knee all the way to the ground if we can. If we want a little bit more core, we can bring those hands to heart, pressing the palms together and just taking the arms out of that support. So we're having to engage with the core just a little bit more. Next time we drop the legs over to the right, we're going to pause and then we're going to turn to face over the right knee. We can shift our way back onto the mat if we've come forward. We're going to set up into lovely 90-degree angles at the joints, ankle, knee and hip, both front and back. So take your time here. Hands either side of the right hip. We're going to press into the ground, adjust that right hip so that we're nice and centered over that right leg and we're not collapsing off to the right. Sitting nice and tall here. We're going to turn to look at that left knee, placing both hands either side of the left leg. We'll inhale, open the hip as wide as we can, and then exhale, gently close. So inhale, open. Exhale, close. Continue here with your own breath. If you find that right leg is coming up, you can place the right hand gently onto the right knee, not to push it down, but just an extra little weight, a little counterweight here. See if we can flatten out that left foot. And again, not forcing the hip, just seeing where our own range is. See if we have a little bit more each time. Last one. Lovely. Gently turning to look back over that right knee. Left hand is just above the knee. We're going to swoop the right arm around the lower body and then look over the right shoulder. Little twist, pressing the left hand into the leg. We're feeling that from the right shoulder, diagonally across the body into that left hip. If we feel we want a little bit more, we can shift that left foot back a little. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently twist. Nice full belly breaths here. Using that belly breath to create a little bit more space into the torso. Nice and strong in that right arm. Keep pressing that left hand into the leg. A little bit more leverage into our twist. One more. And then gently inhale, turning back to the front. And as we exhale, drop the knees over to the left. And again, adjusting ourselves, lovely 90-degree angles at all the joints. Hands either side of the left leg to start. We press into the ground, adjust that left hip bone so we're nice and centered. And then we're going to turn to look over that right knee, placing both hands either side of the right leg. We'll inhale, open that right hip. And then exhale, close. Continue here with your own breath. Again, if you need to rest that left hand on the left leg, that we can really kind of focus on that right hip movement. See if we can flatten out the right foot. Really notice here how different that might feel compared to the other side. Maybe it was a little bit easier to get that space. So again, just mindfully listening to that right hip. Last one. Lovely. Turning to face over the left knee. Right hand is just above the knee. We'll swoop the left arm around the lower body and gently look over that left shoulder. As we inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, gently twist. Pressing that right hand into the leg, drawing ourselves a little bit deeper as we draw that left shoulder back. We're inhale, lengthening. Exhale, release. Nice full belly breath. Use that belly breath to stretch into the core. One more. And then inhale gently back through center. And as we exhale, bringing ourselves back to the front, we're going to straighten both legs out. Draw those toes toward the face, sit nice and tall. We're going to hug the left knee in until the foot's in line with the right, and then we shift the sit bones forward to meet the heel. Crossing the left leg over the right. We're going to extend the right arm forward and wrap it around the left leg, hug it nice and tight into the body. We might bend the right knee, tuck the heel, but only if that left sit bone stays nicely grounded. And we'll inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left. We'll place the left hand on the ground behind us, really close to the lower back. Maybe even walking that left hand around the lower body. Hugging that left shoulder back, drawing those shoulders away from the ears, getting as much length here into the spine as we can. As we hug that right leg in, feeling that release into the left glute. Every inhale, lengthening. Every exhale, twisting, releasing. One more breath. And gently inhale back through center, a little twist to the right just to release, and then back to center again. If the heel is tucked in, we're going to walk the left foot out to the right foot out to the left, trying to get those knees as close to stacked as we can. Otherwise, we're coming back into easy cross-legged with the left leg on top. Drawing the toes toward the knees, we're sitting nice and comfortably into those sit bones. Relax the shoulders. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently folding over that left leg, reaching as far as we can go. We'll rest the palms, rest the head, rest the neck. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, gently folding the body toward the ground. Every inhale, creating space, and every exhale, releasing into that space. Relax the head, relax the neck, pressing the ground away, really drawing those sit bones back and not forcing it. Releasing as opposed to holding here. One more breath. And gently tuck the chin. We'll slowly walk the hands back toward the body. Bringing the left foot out in front, we'll bring the right foot out to meet it. We're going to straighten both legs out in front. Again, adjust the sit bones, get nice and comfortable. Reaching for our strap or our towel or our pillowcase. We're going to soften both knees. And we're going to wrap our strap around the balls of the feet. Gently straightening the legs. We're catching hold of the strap, tucking those elbows into the waist and really draw those shoulders back. So as we draw the toes toward the face, we're feeling that into the lower leg. When we start feeling it into the hamstrings, we are going to go into a fold. I want you to notice where you're feeling that stretch. If it's behind the knee or up near the sit bone, I want you to keep the knees nice and soft, so slightly bent. Otherwise, we can work a little bit deeper. So we're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, gently fold, leading with the chest, walking those hands maybe a little bit closer toward the strap. Try not to round into that upper back, so keep drawing those shoulder blades back. We'll inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, gently fold. Working with your own breath here, maybe close down the eyes so we're not getting too caught up with what this looks like. As we tuck the chin, really notice that release into the whole posterior chain of the body, just that slight tuck of the chin. Keeping the spine long, keeping the heart open. And again, you might fold a lot deeper than what I'm doing here. I want you to really listen to your own body this morning, particularly those hamstrings. So we're not stretching into the joint, we're stretching into the muscles. So you want to feel that into the muscle. Relax the head, relax the neck. Again, tucking that chin, feeling that release. Keep it active. Every inhale, lengthening. Every exhale, folding. One more here. And then gently tuck the chin, we'll slowly rise back up to seat. And we'll release the strap off to the side. And from here, we're going to come to lie back on the mat. Just make sure you have your strap and your block there beside you within reach. So slowly lowering yourselves down onto the ground. Knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. And we'll hug that right knee into the chest. Give it a nice little squeeze. We're going to bend the left knee, place the left foot flat to the ground. Rest the right ankle just above the left knee, figure 4. Draw the right toe toward the knee and we're pressing that right knee away from the body. We can stay here or lift the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, interlock fingers or wrap our strap around the back of that left hamstring. So as we inhale, walk the shoulder blades together, opening into the heart. And as we exhale, draw the left knee a little bit closer as we actively press that right knee away from the body. So again, just notice where that right knee is pointed. It's either outward to the right or even slightly forward. So just notice if it's pointing up over your shoulder. So try to get a bit of movement into that right hip. We're not just hanging out into the hip, really using that breath. We can stay here, focusing in on that right hip. If you want to bring in a little bit of lower limb, we're going to inhale, straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling, draw the toes toward the face. And as we exhale, point through the toes. So keeping the foot in the air, we'll inhale, flex, toe to knee. Exhale, point. Continue here with your own breath. Again, nice full conscious movement. Try to get as much movement into that ankle as we can. And if it feels good, we're going to create a few nice big circles to the right, painting those circles with the big toe. So again, movement at the ankle, not the knee, not the hip. We're really focusing in on that ankle mobility here. Relax the shoulders, still hugging the left knee in. And again, we're looking for a nice, smooth, full, large circle. We can reverse those circles, opposite direction, noticing how that feels, noticing any points of resistance to the movement. I'm trying to iron out any little points of resistance, just using the movement itself. So really consciously moving into the foot, into the ankle. And then gently relax. We're going to allow the heel drop. We can stay here, hugging the left knee in. If we wish to go deeper, interlock fingers around the front of that shin and gently hug that left knee a little bit closer for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the grip, release the left foot to the ground. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest. We're going to do a little bit of soft tissue release here. So if we're wearing leggings or trousers, we can pull them up to just below the knee. So we've got nice skin on skin connection with the hands on the leg. We're going to start by pointing through the toe. So that right big toe, we're going to get both thumbs and we're going to pull that calf muscle away from the heel. So starting kind of either side of the Achilles. We're going to pull the muscle away. So we're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, draw the toe toward the knee. Inhale, point, bring those thumbs a little bit further up the muscle. Exhale, toe to knee. And we're going to continue to work the whole length of that muscle. So our calf has 2 bellies and we've got 2 thumbs. So really convenient. So we're placing each thumb into either side. So as we point, we're engaging. As we flex, we're getting that stretch. So we should feel that stretch kind of from the heel up to wherever those thumbs are. And as we work further up the muscle, we might feel that stretch sensation changes. It might get a little bit deeper. It might get a little bit less. So it's a really good way of just really listening to where those calves are at, if there is any tightness. And it's a lovely way to do a little bit of self-massage. So we can work all the way up the muscle to just below the knee. So try not to press in behind the knee. So just below the knee. And again, we can do the same movement into the tibialis. So I'll just show you while we're here. So with the tibialis, we're going to start with the toe flex and slightly outward. And then we're going to literally get the middle and index finger. We're going to pull the muscle. So that's that muscle just to the right of the shin. We're going to pull it away from the ankle. So as we inhale, we're flexed. And as we exhale, this time we point. And we're going to continue the whole way up that muscle. This can be a really nice release. So lots of pressure with those fingers. So we're literally pulling the muscle away from the joint and we're encouraging that flex. And we're pointing slightly inward. And again, you can play around with this yourself. I'm just noticing as we work up through the muscle, how that sensation might change. It might feel a little bit tighter. It might feel a little bit easier. And again, if we have any little trigger points into the muscle, this can be a really nice way of helping release. And we can do this a lot slower. We can spend a lot more time. So I'm just kind of showing you the tools for this one. So all the way to just below the knee. Lovely. And when we're done, we're just going to gently knead out the calf, knead out the tibialis, just working the fingers and thumbs up and down the muscle like we're kneading dough for bread. So just getting a little bit of blood flow stimulation back into those muscles. Maybe a little bit of friction. And then we can pull that leg in down. Again, a nice little recovery one for those calves. We're going to rest the right foot down. Hug the left knee in, give it a nice little squeeze, and then we'll rest the left ankle just above the right knee, figure 4. Draw the toe toward the knee. We're going to press that left knee away from the body. Again, we can stay here or lift the right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, interlocking fingers or wrapping our strap around the back of the hamstring. As we inhale, walk the shoulder blades together, lengthening through the spine. And as we exhale, draw the right knee a little bit closer as we actively press that left knee away from the body. Keep drawing the left toe toward the left knee, so we're keeping that lower leg nice and engaged. Again, we can stay here, just breathing softly into that left hip. If you want a little bit of lower leg, we're going to inhale, straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling, pointing through the toe. And as we exhale, toe to knee. Inhale, pointing. Exhale, flexing. Continue with your own breath. I want you to really exaggerate that movement. Getting both a stretch and an engagement into those muscles. Relax the shoulder blades together, opening into the heart. We can create a few nice big circles to the right. And again, just notice how that feels comparing to the other side. So in our feet, our ankles, we want mobility, but we also want stability. So it's great to have that range, but it's also really important to have that strength and stability in our foundation. The more these circles we do, you will start to feel those muscles start to fatigue, so you know you are engaging. It is a bit of strength. We're going to reverse those circles opposite direction, nice and easy. And gently relax. Bending the right knee, allow the heel drop. We can hug that knee a little bit closer if you want to go deeper. Interlock fingers around the front of the right shin. Hugging that right knee in, feeling that release into the left hip for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the grip. Release the right foot down to the ground. We'll hug the left knee into the chest. Again, a little bit of soft tissue release on the left side. Pulling our leg in up so we've got our skin on skin connection. We'll start with the calf. So again, we're going to start with a pointed toe. Getting both thumbs, pulling that muscle away from the joint. So starting nice and low, close to the Achilles, either side. So we'll inhale here, and as we exhale, draw the toe toward the knee. Inhale, point, working those thumbs up along the muscle. Exhale, flex. So all the time as we press the thumbs in, we're creating a little bit of pressure. So a lockdown point or a lock-in point. And then as we flex the foot, we start to feel that stretch from the heel to wherever those thumbs are placed. And again, you can work all over that lower leg. So I'm just showing you 2 muscles here. It's one of the most accessible parts of the body for a little bit of self-massage. And it's not too big. So again, slowly all the way up. And again, you can spend a lot more time doing this. To just below the knee. So again, not pressing in behind the knee joint. And then as we're here, we'll do a little bit into tibialis. So again, this time we start by drawing the toe toward the knee and slightly turning the foot outward. And then we're going to find that muscle to the left of the shin bone. We're going to get middle and index finger, and then we're going to pull that muscle away from the ankle joint. We'll inhale here, and as we exhale, point through the toes slightly inward. Inhale, flex, dragging those fingers along the muscle. Exhale, point, and continue with your own breath. So it's the opposite of the calf because we're working into the front of the leg. And again, just notice how that feels. Don't be afraid to put that pressure in. And again, we're looking for a nice little stretch reaction. And anywhere you find, ooh, that feels really good, stay there. Okay, and or come back to it later after class and work into that spot. So the nice thing about this one as well, we've got full control. So we're a lot less likely to go too deep. Again, all the way. Take your time. Notice how this side feels compared to the other side. So again, tuning in with any little imbalances that might need to be addressed. So we're nearly at the top here. And often I find this part nearly the most tender. Again, just spending a little bit of time, loosening it out. And you can also make little circles into the ankles here as well and notice how that feels into the muscle. So just experimenting with your technique. When we've got to the top again, we're just going to gently knead out the muscle. So again, almost like we're kneading dough for bread, up and down the muscle. No real right or wrong here, just stimulating a little bit of blood flow back into the soft tissue. Maybe a little bit of friction. And again, as I said, you can spend a lot more time doing this than what we're doing here. Even sitting on the couch in the evening after a hard day on your feet. And we can relax, pulling that leg and down. Lovely. We're going to hug the knees toward the armpits. We're coming into a little bit of hip opening here. Hands rest on the shins. Lower back is pressed into the ground. We're going to inhale, press the shins into the hands. And as we exhale, allow those hips open. Inhale, press shins into hands. Exhale, open a little bit more. You can continue here with your own breath if you wish to come into full happy baby. Bringing the soles of the feet parallel or almost parallel to the ceiling. Catch and hold the calf, shins, maybe ankles, maybe inner arches of the feet, or we can interlock middle and index fingers around the big toes. Just make sure that lower back is really firmly grounded. We're going to inhale, press soles of the feet or shins toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, draw the knees down toward the ground. Inhale, press up. Exhale, draw down. So in our happy baby, we're going to get a little bit into the hamstrings here too. So again, making sure not to overstretch. Working with the breath, in and out through the nose. Nice full belly breathing. We can stay here. If we want to get a little bit more into the hamstrings, we can straighten the legs. And again, see if we could open into a little wider V. Make sure that lower back feels stable wherever we are. We're going to hold it. Continuing with the breath for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the breath. We'll hug those knees slowly back into the chest. Knees are together, feet are together. We'll crisscross at the ankles. Options to make your way anyway to seat, or we can rock and roll just to once, bringing ourselves into a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. We bring the hands forward out in front, fingers widely spread, gently shift the body weight forward so we can step back onto our knees, finding ourselves in a lovely strong tabletop centered in the middle of our mat. Shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, knees hip width apart, hips over knees. And again, we're going to gently draw the belly button in, engaging with those core muscles. Inhale, take the gaze forward and up, arching through the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Nice, strong cat-cow curls the whole length of the spine. Keeping those hips nice and high if we can. And just working space into every single last vertebrae along the spine, creating space, creating energy. Anywhere it feels particularly tight, feel free to take an extra couple of breaths and pause in that space. And likewise, anywhere it feels really nice, feel free to hang out an extra couple of breaths and really enjoy that space. Relax the breath. Feel free to sigh it out if it feels better. Slowly, slowly, softly, softly. We're going to meet back at center in our tabletop. We're going to straighten the right leg behind us. Again, notice if the belly's collapsed, draw the belly in, nice and strong here. We're going to bend the right knee, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. We're going to gently pulse. So we're just pulsing, getting a little bit into hip, getting a little bit into hamstring here. So again, if you do find the hamstrings are already over lengthened, so if you're feeling that stretch more so up near the sit bone in our poses, strengthening into the hamstrings might be what we need to do, and a little bit of mobility into the hip. So again, this is just awakening up that hamstring. Lovely. We're going to straighten the leg. We're going to land on the ball of the right foot. Gently press through the heel. Get a nice little stretch into the back of the leg for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to drop the right heel down. Swivel on the left knee. Bring the left foot behind us. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand comes to the hip. We're going to really draw that right shoulder back, pressing the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. Notice if we're collapsing into the body. So really pressing the hips forward, maybe coming up onto the fingertips, maybe coming up onto a block. So I want you to really feel that space into the front of the body. We'll inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, reach the right arm all the way to the front of the room. Arm is right back in line with the ear. So notice if we're reaching out to the right, I want you to really draw that arm back, feeling that space. If you want a little challenge for the balance, we'll follow the right middle finger with the gaze. Inhale, right knee, right elbow into touch. Exhale, lengthen it out, pressing away through that right heel. Inhale slowly in. Exhale, extend it out. Continue here with your own breath. Again, looking for space and strength. Actively reaching. Feeling that stretch into the side waist, into the front of the body. Feel free to reach that right hand and right foot behind and notice how that feels in the body. Nice and strong in that left arm so we're not collapsing into the joints. Last one. We'll meet an extension, right arm overhead. We rest the right foot down, right hand comes back to the mat, swiveling on the left knee. We're going to draw that right knee into the chest and then step it forward between the hands, shifting that left knee back as far as we can go. So coming into a nice low lunge, we can untuck the toe. Right knee is stacked over the ankle. We're going to get the right forearm, hook it behind the right knee and gently shift that body weight forward. So the knee is actually tracking over the foot until we start to feel that right heel wants to come off the ground and we're trying to press it back down to resist. Inhale here, and as we exhale, allow ourselves to sink a little bit deeper. So that right arm is there, so we're not overly compressing into the knee. It's also a nice little massage for that calf. Keep pressing that right heel down for 3, for 2, and 1. Tuck the left toe under. We're going to gently walk our hands back and sit back toward that left heel. Drawing the toes toward the face. We're going to be doing a little bit of this in our flow. So again, I want you to notice where that feels in the hamstring. If it's up near the sit bone, keep the knee soft. Maybe come up onto 2 blocks or 2 stacks of books. And again, we're just going to fold here for this one. Inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, gently fold. Again, we don't need to go too deep to find that stretch, so don't overdo it here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more breath. Gently, we're going to walk those hands back up in line with the foot, and then we'll bring the right knee back into meet left, readjusting ourselves into our tabletop. We'll inhale, straighten the left leg behind, bend the left knee. Again, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. We're going to gently pulse into that left hamstring, into that glute. Keep drawing the belly button in, so nice core connection here.
So again, just stimulating into that muscle. For 3, for 2, and 1. Straighten the leg. We're going to land on the ball of the left foot. Gently press away through the heel. For 3, for 2, and 1. Drop the left heel down. We'll swivel on the right knee. Bring the right foot behind us. Right hand stays in the ground. Left hand comes to the hip. We're going to press that left hip forward. Draw the shoulder back. Pressing the outer blade of that left foot into the ground. And maybe come up onto finger pads or up onto our block if we need. Inhale the left arm up, and as we exhale, reach the left arm all the way out front. Arm is right back in line with the ear. We might follow that left middle finger with the gaze. Inhale, left knee, left elbow into touch. Exhale, reach it out as we lengthen. Inhale, engage. Exhale, extend. Continue with your own breath. Try to keep the foot hovered off the ground if you can. And if you do need to touch down, just ever so lightly, ever so minimally. Working with your breath. Inhale, knee and elbow in. Exhale, extend it out. 2 more. Nice, slow, controlled, mindful movement. We'll meet an extension with the arm overhead. We rest the foot. We rest that left hand back to the ground. Swivel on the right knee. From here, we're going to bend the left knee into the chest and then step that left foot between the hands. Shifting that right knee back as far as we can go. We can untuck the toe. Getting the left forearm, we're going to hook it behind the left knee and we're going to gently shift the body weight forward so that knee is tracking over the toe until we start to feel that left heel wants to peel off the ground and we're trying to press that left heel down to resist. Relax the hands, relax the head, relax the neck, just breathing into that space. And again, this is a gentle release, not forcing it. Breathing, sinking for 3, for 2, and 1. Tuck the right toe under. We're going to walk those hands back, sitting all the way back toward the heel. Draw the toe toward the face. And again, we might stay high. We might come up onto our blocks, up onto our sacks of boots. Keep the heart open if you can. We're going to inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, fold. Again, leading with the chest and not rounding too much into that spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Listening to the hamstring. We're working into the belly of the hamstring, not up near the sit bone, not behind the knee. Keep it active, keep it mindful. 1 more. And then gently bend the left knee. We'll walk those hands back in line with the foot. Stepping the left knee back to meet right. Back into our tabletop. Knees hip width distance apart. We're going to tuck the toes under. We'll walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. Looking back between the toes, we're going to press hands and feet into the ground. Hover the knees and then press those hips as high as we can. As we press the ground away, draw the chest a little bit closer toward the mat, coming into our downward dog. And then from here, just gently paddling out the feet, allowing opposite heel, melt softly toward the ground, really lifting through those hips, really opening through the heart, and just notice where the body is at this morning, not forcing any movement, but just trying to access as much space as we can within the body. Relax the breath. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to gently walk our way to the front of the mat, coming to a nice relaxed forward fold. Allow the head, neck, shoulders release. So nice deep bend to the knees here until the belly rests onto the knees. Feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to walk at the palms of the hands. So fingertips are going to face us, palms are going to face us. We're going to walk the palms of the hands underneath the feet. So again, you might need to bend those knees a little bit deeper to access that until the toes are almost massaging the backs of the wrists. And again, we can stay here. Relax the head, relax the neck, sinking into that lower spine. If we want to get a little bit more length into the backs of the legs, see on an inhale, if we can press those hips a little bit higher, and as we exhale, fold. So inhale, press up. Exhale, fold. Continue here with your own breath. And again, you might have a lot more range there than I do, so don't be afraid to go with that range. Relax the head. Again, give it a shake to our mind. Really tucking that chin in, feeling that release into the whole posterior chain of the body. One more. And then gently walk those hands out. We're going to tuck the chin and slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. Take a little drink if you need. We're going to flow it out for the rest of the class this morning. If you have your block, you can place it toward the front edge of the mat. We may or may not need it. So meeting at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Hands to heart, shoulders relaxed. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand's grounded. We'll inhale the left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand down to the ground. Resting right knee down, pushing it if you need. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften into the hip. Opening those arms into our cactus arms. So really drawing the shoulder blades together, opening into that heart space, drawing the belly button in, sinking into that right hip. We're going to find a point out in front to focus our gaze. As we inhale, straighten the left leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down. Again, either to the ground or to our blocks. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. Inhale, lengthen forward, touch the fingertips down, toe toward the face. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus lunge. Continue here with your own breath. Again, cushion that right knee if you need. You want to make the movement as accessible and as comfortable as you can so you can fully release into the movement. Keeping the gaze forward out in front, so we're keeping a nice openness into the front of the body. So as soon as we look back, we start to compress. See if we can press the left heel into the ground. So using our left heel as a little pivot point, maintaining that engagement with the hamstring, even as we sit back toward the heel. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge when you're ready, and then we'll frame the left foot. Coming off the right knee, we'll drop the right heel down, engage the core up into warrior, extend the arms, palms face down. We're going to sink into that left knee, left foot point forward. We're looking toward that left middle finger. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together, overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior. Two more. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the right. Walking those fingertips about half a foot out in front. We're going to gently shift the body weight forward until we can lift that right heel towards the ceiling. Keeping both legs straight if we can. You can use your block if you need a little bit more length in those arms. Lifting that back leg as high as we can go. Keeping the leg lifted, we might have our one hand, two hands off the ground. We might bring the hands to heart center. We might open our arms into airplane. But again, only if we can keep that leg in the air. So if the leg's dropped, I want you to bring the hands back to the ground until we can maintain that lift. Nice neutral spine. We're not looking forward. We're not looking back. Holding it nice and strong in that left leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands come to the ground. Right foot comes down to meet left, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping the left foot back to lunge, left hand's grounded. We'll inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Resting left knee down, cushion it if you need. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we really sink into the hip. And again, you can shift that left knee back a little bit further if you need. Opening those arms into our cactus arms. Inhale, straighten the right leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down, gazes forward.
Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. Continue with your own breath. And again, only going as deep as your hamstring and those hips feel good. Keep the heart open, keep the gaze forward, keep pressing that right heel firmly into the mat. And again, stabilize that left knee if you need. If movement doesn't feel good for you this morning, feel free to pause and stay in any part of the pose that does feel good. And then when you feel comfortable moving into the next. So listening to your own body here, not forcing the movement. You're in control. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge. Framing the right foot. We'll come off the left knee, drop the left heel down. Engage the core up into warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down. Softening into the hips. Right knee, right foot point forward. We're looking for that right middle finger. We're going to follow it. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together, overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Warrior. 3 more. Inhale, lengthen, reach and rise. Exhale, warrior. 2 more. Try to get those arms right back in line with the ears, engaging with those shoulders. The last one. Meeting in our warrior, we'll cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Walking the finger pads about half a foot out in front. Shifting the body weight forward until we can lift that left heel toward the ceiling. Both legs are straight. So again, if we need to use our block or a chair or the wall to place our hands out front, see if we can straighten that leg and lift that back leg. Holding it here, maybe hovering 1 hand, 2 hands off the ground. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center. Maybe extend those arms out into airplane. Maybe experiment with those arms, reach them out front, behind. So a little bit of movement in the upper body is going to challenge that lower body, that standing leg. So again, don't be afraid to play around with the pose. Wherever we are, we're holding it, lifting that back leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands release, left foot comes down to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a little drink if you need. We've got one last little round to finish our practice this morning. So meeting at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Really grounding that left foot into the mat. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest. See if we can interlock the middle and index finger around the thumb. And again, if you need to use a chair or a wall here for support, otherwise we'll bring that left hand to rest on the left hip. We can stay here. If that feels good, see if we can straighten that right leg out in front. Holding it here, lifting that front leg. And again, don't be afraid to use the wall for this one to start with. And if that feels good, we're going to open that right leg to the right. Hopefully a little bit more gracefully than myself. See if we can lengthen the spine, open the heart, feeling that space into the front of the body for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale the right leg out in front, and as we exhale, we're going to hug that right knee back into the chest. Lovely. Release the grip. We're going to send that right foot all the way back into our high lunge. Take your time here. Nice little bit of stability here with our movement. Resting the right knee down. We'll open those arms into cactus. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Draw the toes toward the face. Touch the fingertips down. Exhale, bend the left knee. Open the arms. Cactus. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, cactus lunge. 2 more. And again, sinking a little bit deeper each time if it feels good. Keep the gaze forward. Keep pressing that left heel into the ground. Last one. Meeting in our cactus, we'll frame the left foot. Coming off the right knee, drop the right heel down, engage the core up into warrior, extend the arms, palms face down, softening into our warrior. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, gazes up. Exhale, bend the left knee. warrior. 2 more. Pressing those feet firmly into the ground, really rooting our foundations. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we'll cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, ball of the right, shift the body weight forward to lift the right foot up to meet left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, really grounding that right foot into the mat. Find a point out in front to focus our gaze. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee out in front. Just hug it nice and tight into the body. Again, use the wall if you need. Interlock it, middle and index finger around the left big toe. Right hand comes to the hip or to the wall or to a chair. And we can stay here. We don't have to straighten the legs. So this could be a really nice hip opener as well as a balance. If we want to try, we could experiment. We can inhale, straighten the left leg out in front. Again, try not to lean too far forward. Try to keep that neutral spine as much as you can. Holding it for 3, for 2, and 1. See if we can open that left leg out to the left. And again, knee can be straight or bent. Working towards straight, but if it's not there this morning, getting a nice little bit of hip space. For 3. Standing on that right leg, strong for 2. And 1, inhale, left leg out in front. And as we exhale, we're going to hug the left knee into the chest. Softening the right knee, we're going to step that left foot all the way back into our high lunge. Take your time here. Framing the right foot, we're going to rest the left knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften into the hip. We'll open those arms into our cactus. Inhale, straighten the right leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. Inhale, lengthen forward, gazes forward all the time. Exhale, cactus lunge. And again, not bouncing into the muscles. This is a really lovely, strong, controlled movement, pressing that right heel into the ground throughout the whole length of the movement. Last one. Meeting in our cactus, we're going to frame the right foot, coming off the knee, drop the left heel down. Engage the core up into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down. We'll soften into that right hip. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead. Look up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Warrior. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, warrior. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we'll cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Shifting the body weight forward, we'll lift the left foot up to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. Again, like we did on Tuesday, we're going to finish with legs up the wall, just to treat those lower limbs. So we can bring our mat so that the shorter end of our mat is just up against the wall. Nice and close. We put a little bit of cushioning underneath the body. And then we're going to find ourselves nice and close to the wall. So parallel to the wall, we can come down onto the forearms and gently rotate the body until we're now perpendicular to the wall, and we can shift our weight as close to the wall as we can so that when we do straighten the legs up the wall, the lower back still stays on the ground. So straightening the legs, we might need to shift the body a little bit further away from the wall. And this can be a lovely way just to hang out. If the backs of the legs feel particularly tight, if it's the calves, if it's the hamstrings, you can always place a little weight onto those feet and just hang out here. Nice little recovery pose. This morning, again, we're going to work into those hips as well. So we're going to open as wide as we can into a lovely V shape. And just really allow those feet flop out here. So allow the weight of the legs fully into that wall, and maybe even shake the feet, allowing that happen. We're going to relax the shoulder blades together, connect the whole end of the spine to the ground. And just this morning, we rest those hands on the inner thighs, but just make sure the arms are still on the ground. We're nice and relaxed here. So allowing the ground to take the full weight of the upper body, allowing the wall take the full weight of the legs. Closing down the eyes, maybe gently tucking the chin to release into the back of the neck. Again, melting those shoulder blades together, feeling that heart space. And this is a lovely space that we can come into at any time of the day, really. It's a really lovely one in the morning. It's kind of like a little reset or like our morning coffee, a little kick for the day. It's also a really nice one to come into in the evening after a long day on our feet as a nice recovery or restorative pose. It is a form of inversion. So like our headstands, our handstands, our shoulder stands, it's just a little bit less stressful to get into, and we can hang out here a lot longer. So again, the physical benefits of the hip stretch, the hip opening, the stretch into the muscles. After like 30 seconds, a minute, we're not going to feel a whole heap more, but we can definitely feel a lovely restorative effect into the body, into the mind. It's a lovely way of just flushing out the body. A little bit of lymphatic drainage here as well, they say. So again, although maybe the stretch isn't going to get much more after that time, we can definitely benefit in other physiological ways. Hanging out here as long as you wish. And again, even this morning, if you do have time, you can hang out here a little bit longer. Or even this evening, even if it's just for a few minutes every evening, it can be a really nice way just to settle you after the day. Prepare you maybe for that nice sleep. Relax the breath. Noticing if we've been holding it, and just see if we can draw it a little bit deeper down into the belly. Feeling the breath as it affects the body, as it allows the body to relax a little bit more on that exhale. And feel free to sigh it out for the last few breaths if it feels good. And again, as I say, you could stay here all morning. But unfortunately, we're going to bring those hands to the outside of the legs. Gently rotate the hips slightly inward just to take the pressure off the hips, softening the knees, and really slowly we bring those feet back up against the wall, and we can just gently kind of flutter out the hips, flutter out the legs, getting a little bit of blood flow stimulation back into the legs, into the hips. And then from here, we're going to press the feet into the ground, into the wall, and gently shift your way away from the wall, so we're not right up against it. Hugging the knees into the chest, and then we're going to rest the feet down to the ground. Slowly rolling over onto our right hand side. Take a little moment here, allowing the body, breath, mind to reset and reconnect. And when you feel ready for the day, we're going to press the left hand into the ground to slowly draw ourselves all the way up to seat. High comes up last, nice and easy. We're going to find ourselves in a nice comfortable seat to finish our practice this morning. So coming back to where we started, nice open heart, nice long spine. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling to receive a little bit of energy for the day. And we'll inhale both arms out, reach it up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. And we'll do that twice more. Gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourself for creating a wee bit of space in your morning to come to mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, release and strength, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the rest of the week to come. And thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.